Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reddit drama channel with another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy it. Also, please click the notification bell so you won't miss when another cheating story goes live. These simple clicks mean a lot to our channel, and thank you for your support.
I keep asking her about her friend and she says I have nothing to worry about until. Part 2. That was until she saw I was headed to location history and needed her help to open it. She broke down again and ripped the phone from my hands, denying me access to it. Obviously, this made me incredibly anxious, and the obvious choice would just be to walk away here, but I soldiered on. She's done very little to help me rebuild trust. Once, when she was with some friends, she FaceTimed me once she got there, but if I'm honest, it took quite a while to get there, longer than it should have. Progress is practically non-existing. If anything, I feel like it's going backwards. Until the separation we were in MC every week, with the occasional IC for me. She has done IC once, a few weeks after D-Day. She doesn't really talk to anyone about what she did, how things are going, etc. She talks a little bit with her mom, but she just gets the everything is fine and not really anything else. I was the one to tell her mom most of what she did. She still doesn't have the full story, especially not from my wife's point of view. To my knowledge, she's not really talking to any friends about it either. We have a really good friendship with another couple that my wife was friends with prior to meeting me. The woman in this couple isn't able to get my wife to talk, so she has gotten all the information from me, and she's been really helpful. I know she'd help my wife a lot as well, if only she would talk to her. After the separation we've stopped with MC, but the plan is to have a session in a month or two. I just don't think we'll make it that far. For a while after D-Day I felt she was extremely ashamed of what she did, so much that she couldn't talk about it. Obviously, with me hammering for details and everything, this made it much harder for her to come to terms with everything. I mentioned she felt very remorseful. I've since learned this isn't the case. I don't think she's remorseful. She regrets what she's done. She says she regrets cheating on me, because it made everything worse, referring to our problems pre-physical affair. But in reality I think she's only regretting it because of what it's costing her. And if we're honest, that's not a lot at this point. Her life continues more or less the exact same way. I asked her once, a few weeks ago, "What did this cost you?" She hesitated a bit, and said maybe my job, and the fact that she was crying a lot. I almost laughed. So what it's costing you, is maybe your job, and you cry some. Great. I've told her since D-Day that she can't continue at her current work, considering he lives around 500 feet from their office. At first she was understanding. Of course, I'll find a new job. I just need a little time to land from all this. Then as time went on, I felt more and more like she was pulling back on this. She's mentioned to HR and her manager that there's problems at home, and she needs some help. She's getting a lot of help from work now, and has reduced hours to take care of herself. I know she's not going to change jobs now. We rarely talked at home, maybe once a week for 30 minutes, tops. Every time we tried, she broke down crying in shame. It usually just ended in her saying she's sad we've ended up where we are. My wife has previously mentioned frustration about things having to go my way now. In what world is this my way? I hate this. In MC things were going a bit better, it felt like. I also came to another conclusion lately. This is no longer about the infidelity, as much as it is about her ambivalence. She still has feelings for her AP, and her feelings for me are a mess. I know that it's no longer a question of whether or not I can forgive her infidelity, but whether or not she wants or needs me to. I've come to learn that her internal struggle started in January 2020. I personally felt a bit of a change in her mood since late autumn/early winter 2019, but didn't think much of it, mostly credited to stress from the busy season at work, along with being a new mom with a full-time job. She says that since January she has felt something wrong inside of her, something that she felt she couldn't talk to me about. Now I know that what she meant was she felt I was pressuring, controlling and monitoring her, giving her guilt over having to work late, all because I asked and wanted to know when to expect her home, for practicality reasons. Dinner, our son, husband-wife time, etc. She then used this resentment that started building up, and talking to her to be AP about it. During the MC session, where my wife mentioned the need for time alone, our MC challenged her a bit, about how she would manage her marriage in the future, or her next relationship, knowing most of the issues that caused her affair were from inside her. My wife said she knew there was a massive amount of work to be done on herself, but as I mentioned, she's not doing anything right now. As I've mentioned, it feels like she doesn't need my forgiveness anymore. She never asked for it, which is fine, but it feels like she just wants to run away from everything, or maybe run away with her AP. Albeit, he didn't have feelings for her, at least around D-Day. Now that we have decided to separate, I asked her what to expect, and what she expected. She doesn't know. I asked her what will happen when her AP asks her if they should take a walk and get a soda? What happens when he tells her he misses her, or if he's horny? What happens when she misses him, and she's alone? She doesn't know. Basically, she isn't promising me monogamy while we're separated. My heart and soul still belongs to her, so this abso-effing-lutely sucks to her. This obviously just makes me feel like the separation is her taking a chance to pursue her AP, or the separation is because she doesn't have the balls yet to say she wants a divorce. I've asked her both. To the first question the answer was he wasn't in love with me, and to the second she claims this isn't the case. She says the separation is a time for her to find herself, in order to get back together. I know what everyone is thinking right now, but how do I find the strength to actually walk away? I don't know. Update end. Here is the second story. She cheated on me 3 times while she was drunk. Just a little background, I, 25M, have been dating my girlfriend, 26F, for 8 years. We met in high school and did long distance for 4 years while we were apart during uni. After both graduating, we've lived together for 3 years. My girlfriend has now cheated on me 3 times that I know of. The first time this happened was while we were long distance, where she told me that she had gotten blackout drunk and ended up making out with some guy from her program. This destroyed me at the time, but she was so remorseful and assured me that she had no feelings for the person and this was just a result of her being drunk. She also said how much she loved me and wanted to make things work out. We took a week break, but I ended up deciding that I loved her too much to let this mistake break things up. Fast forward to the present, we have been living together for 3 years, and I feel that we are growing deeply in love. This is a person I could see myself spending the rest of my life with. I came home from work today to my girlfriend crying in the dark. I ask her what's wrong and she tells me that she's cheated on me 2 more times in the last 6 months. She tells me that she got drunk with her friends at the end of the summer while I wasn't around and ended up making out with one of her friends. She didn't tell me after this happened because she felt that telling me would just be her trying to make herself feel better, absolving her conscience. However, I learned that last weekend she went out with her friends while I was on a trip, ended up getting drunk and making out with another guy. I feel destroyed. I don't know what to do. I love this girl so much, but I don't know if I can trust her anymore. She assures me that she loves me and that the problem is her drinking, but I don't know if I can trust even that. If you have any advice, I would be super grateful. Thanks for reading this ramble. Here are some of the best comments from our community. I am afraid that you care more for her than she does for you. It isn't the drinking. It was more than kissing. It was more than just the 3 times she told you about. You're asking a question, and you don't like the answer. But you already know the answer. The drinking is an issue, but there is something else in her because she gets drunk other times and doesn't do it, so she has other issues that the drinks allow to come out. You need to separate from her and work on yourself, and she needs to work on herself as well. She is broken and she has broken you too now. You both need to see a therapist and a counselor if you want to save the relationship. But you don't have to save it if you can't. Right now the pain is the worst, but it does get better. But if you can't forgive her and trust her again, then call it over. If her actions match what she is saying, then hopefully you can trust that. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.